type of PPP arrangement is part of the RSSDA experience. The goal in this arrangement is to directly involve the private sector in the business of governance and to bring the private sector management skills and financial acumen into public sector organizations. The arrangement goes beyond implementing specific projects and programs. Rather, it is about initiating a process of change in governance from inside out by introducing catalysts, in quotes, of change from the outside, outside meaning the private sector. For the private sector, this is much more than a CSR program. It's about business stepping out of its comfort zone and participating in a long-term governance improvement program. Sometimes the participating company cannot even take public credit for its roles because this might undermine the political leadership of the partners. I firmly believe that this type of PPP arrangement is needed more in underdeveloped and developing regions of the world. Regions that are ravaged by violent conflicts, especially resource conflicts, or regions attended by extreme poverty and other developmental challenges. Regions like the Niger Delta. The logic behind this is simple. Governance is often very fragile and vulnerable in such regions, and democracy, where it has been instituted at all, is fledgling. It is therefore morally right for all stakeholders, including the private sector, to support and work with any well-intentioned government to strengthen the capacity of such governments to deliver quality public services and infrastructure in the critical areas of need to as many members of the population as possible in as short a time as possible. Like I said before, the focus is not on particular programs or projects. It is about filling a gap and about strengthening the capacity of government. I will now say a few words about RSSDA in the context of this third type of the PPP arrangement. RSSDA is an agency of the Rivers State government. It functions just like every other MDA and works under the same set of rules, regulations, and statutes. It has to produce an annual budget, go through the same procurement process, be subject to the same audit and review procedures, and employs the same reporting lines. In many ways, it is just another MDA. However, the expectations are quite different in very specific ways. I'll mention some of these. Mobilization of resources. One of the major differentiators of RSSDA is the fact that the agency is specifically mandated by law, and the law that set it up, to mobilize and leverage resources from the private sector to complement its statutory allocation from the government, from the state government. In fact, a major indicator of success for RSSDA is the percentage contribution leveraged from other sources for every major program or project. This means that collaboration with the private sector is a routine experience and a way of working at RSSDA rather than a one-off experience. Already, a few of the other MDAs within the Rivers State government are learning from our experiences and are now beginning to explore opportunities to leverage and mobilize readily available private sector resources for public sector programs and projects. Number two is performance and delivery. At RSSDA, there is a clear focus on corporate, functional, and individual performance and delivery. The standard is to deliver every program and project on time and within budget. The agency is committed to demonstrating that public sector institutions can operate at the same level of efficiency and effectiveness as the business community, if not higher. Our commitment to this goal reflects in the way the agency is organized, the way human resource is developed and managed, and in the way that we work. Number three is responsiveness to the needs of society. Private sector organizations fail or succeed on how well they respond to the needs and preferences of the customers or the market. Every successful company has a culture and a system in place for knowing what the customer wants and for supplying that on an ongoing basis. This is one of the private sector cultures that has been also instituted in RSSDA. The agency is keen to respond to the needs of the poor in the society it serves. All our programs and projects are subjected to vigorous confirmatory tests to verify that they are responsive to the needs of our customers. D, focus on sustainable development rather than sector-specific interventions. The name Rivers State Sustainable Development Agency clearly suggests that the agency must focus on sustainable development and not on just any one of the three aspects of the concept: economy, social, or environmental development. This is a way of working for us, not something we do at some point in the design of a program or project. An important implication of the concept of sustainable development for the agency is the fact that it has to work in partnership with other agencies of the same River State government who have line ministerial accountability for some of the programs and projects. For example, the agency will have to work in partnership with the Ministry of Education to successfully and sustainably implement a program aimed at helping children from poor homes remain in school. In conclusion, there are many arguments in support of PPP arrangements, not only in the Niger Delta region, but also in other parts of Nigeria and regions of the world. Three of these: number one, public money alone is often not enough to build all the hospitals, schools, deliver all the social services, and develop all the public infrastructure that are needed in our communities. The PPP arrangements help to address the shortfall. Two, PPP arrangements lead to dramatic increases in the quality of public services. The private sector culture ensures this, and the performance-related penalties that are reasonably built into most PPP arrangements also help to ensure a continuing improvement in standards, far in advance of anything that could be achieved in the public sector. C, PPP arrangements are a fast, effective, and in the short term at least, cheap way of delivering social services and developing public infrastructure. It is therefore important that we all widen our concept of public-private sector collaboration, especially in the Niger Delta region. And because of the myriad of developmental challenges confronting the region at the moment, our concept must go beyond CSR and profit motives for the business community and leveraging of funds for the public sector. Our concept should include leveraging the strengths of both sectors to improve and strengthen governance, deepen democracy, foster peace, and eliminate poverty from the land. I thank you all for the opportunity to share my thoughts on this project.
Thank you.